Hey friend, in this video I'm gonna analyze the best chord voicings that you can learn from one of my favorite albums ever, The Raven That Refused to Sing by Steven Wilson. And we're gonna see much more than 10 chords, it's just a catchy title for this video. We're gonna analyze all the songs and I'm gonna show you voicings that you might want to reuse into your own music after. And like always, if you like the way I teach and you wanna go further after this lesson, I have a free online course on spread triad chords that you can check out. First link in the description box below. All right, let's start with the song Luminol, which has these chords at the beginning. I'm gonna show you how to play that, but first I want to explain what is cool with the chords of Steven Wilson. Most of the times, he's gonna use minor 7 and major 7 chords in a chromatic way. In a sense, he's gonna play in a minor key because all his songs are really sad, right? It's all in minor keys. But he's gonna borrow chords from the parallel major key really often. So this song is in the key of E minor for most of it. But then he plays a C sharp minor 7, which is usually in the E major key, right? So in the minor key, it's supposed to be C major 7. But instead, he's gonna play C sharp minor 7. And then he's gonna play D major 7. And then move one finger, the index here, to play a D sharp minor 7 flat 5, which is supposed to be in the key of E major 2. So if I play, it's all naturally in the key of E major. But he's gonna use them in his minor key, so that's really cool to have that. And then he's gonna play a different voicing for the second D major 7. So the first one is the classic way. But then, just to make a variation, instead of repeating the same chord, he's gonna play it like this. So instead of having the major 7 note in the middle, he's gonna have it on top. On top here. If that chord is too stretchy for you, since it's on D, you could play it like this. And that's gonna be much more comfortable, right? It's gonna... But it just lacks a bit of low end because fretting it here is not the same timbre, right? This one sounds thinner to me compared to, especially because you add an extra fifth at the bottom too. And I think in the original version, he's gonna let go of the fifth of the chord, right? Talking about the fifths. So instead of playing it like this, you can let go of the note on the 4th string and just to play. Right? So it's always something that you can do with your chords. If you want a more airy voicing that's not too thick, you can remove the 5th of the chord if the 5th is not altered. If it's not a sharp 5 or a flat 5, you can let it go. So instead of, it's like... So especially when the mix is busy and there are a lot of other instruments, it's gonna work super great. Then later in the song, there is this E minor 9 chord, which is beautiful. Right? So usually when we play an E minor chord, it's pretty bare like this, so we can play it as an E minor 7 by adding the 3rd fret on the 2nd string. But he goes further by adding the 2nd fret on the 1st string, which makes it a E minor 9. It's like when I hear this chord, I think about Luminol, like exactly this voicing. And then he's gonna play the shape of an E major. And then he's gonna slide, he's not really gonna play E major, but he's gonna slide that shape up until the 6th fret, let's say for your index, which makes an A major chord with the open E. So maybe you can slide it from 2 frets below. Right? So like I said, he likes to really blend like minor and major shapes, even though he doesn't play the E major. That's what he thought in the first place, I'm sure, right? So and then I love the rest. It's the same principle that I told you after that part. It's like, the word he sings are not his own. They speak of things he'll never know. And then we go back to E minor. So it's the same principle here. We play C sharp minor 7. And then we play a major 7 chord chromatically. But instead of being D major 7, this time it's going to be C minor 7. And then the same principle again, B minor 7 and B flat major 7. So he's always borrowing, he's always thinking about chords like these in a chromatic minor, so which makes it really cool. And you could have gone on and on chromatically like this, but it's great in that song right here. So I love this song. Let's go to the song Drive Home. For this one, we're going to need some kind of 12-string guitar or a Nashville tuning style guitar. The Nashville tuning is when your thickest strings, the E, A, D, and G strings are thinner strings where you tune them an octave higher, because it's not going to make sense, the chord shapes, if you play them on standard tuning, standard guitar right here. So on Drive Home, if you play, because I don't have a Nashville tuning guitar, so I'm going to use the 12 string where I have like the strings that are tune higher on it, right? So I'm gonna put my microphone here so that you can hear it well. So at the beginning of the song, he does something quite like this. So that's really cool, those kinds of voicings, right? You could play like the regular chords, which are just like E minor and A, and then C, G, D. But it's cool to play what Steven Wilson plays. So this voicing right here on top of the E. So it's gonna add a ninth inside of the voicing, which is really interesting. And then he's gonna play like regular triads with the open first E string like this. So that's gonna be the A major, and then C major, G major, and then a ta-na-na. So that's gonna be some kind of like D major 7. If you're really extreme, you could play it like this, which is doing quite often too, this kind of ta-na-na. So those are really great voicings. And then later in the song, he's gonna do something really similar to what I said. He's gonna play. So that's gonna be an E flat minor 7 flat 5, and then the D major 7. So it's kind of the same principle then in Luminol when we were doing the D major 7 and then pushing the index to play this. It's the same principle, but then we're gonna play another voicing right here. It's a lot easier to play. Maybe not on acoustic because you have to press more to bar the thing. But it's another really cool thing here. And then on the chorus, what I like about the chord progression that goes like this. Drive home, drive home, drive home. So we're playing E minor, then C, then A, which is once again a chord borrowed from the parallel major. So we are in the key of E minor once again. And in that key, the fourth chord of that key is supposed to be A minor, sorry. But he plays A major because he borrows like chords that have like a lighter tone to them, lighter color, a color of hope almost, right? But what I like is that in the melody, drive home, he's highlighting the change in the chord. So he plays on the vocals, oh, on top of the A, and then oh. He highlights the major 7 note. So it's a great choice on the melody to choose that note on top of that chord right here. So I love the color of these chords right here. Then let's go back to electric guitar. The Holy Drinker. I'm going to show you the chord that is played at the beginning of the song on keys, but I love the sound of it. It goes like this. So this chord right here has to be something like an E power chord with an added flat 9. Right? So it's a real stretch to play it on guitar like this. So what you could do, you could have another version like this barred. But this one, we're going to add back the major third of the chord. So that's going to have more of a like dominant Phrygian kind of sound to it. But it's still a cool sound if you don't want to play it like this. But in the real song, it's like just a power chord with an added flat 9. And then later in the song, when they do like the something like this, then I love that they do. There's like a really spicy, cool chord just in the middle, just as a little transition like this. Like it's really cool. So that has to be a B flat. It's like a B flat sus2, but we're gonna change the note, the fifth of the chord, for the sharp 11. Really spicy chord that I love in the song. Now let's go to the song The Pin Drop that goes like this. So it's the same principle than the chord here. He's gonna take like just a simple chord, like a power chord in a sense, and add a sharp 11 in them. So it's kind of it's like if you played a G chord, but from C, but you're gonna let go of the index to go play the sharp 11 on top. And then the shape for the A chord. So this is gonna be an A power chord with an added 9th and an added sharp 11. To have the friction on top of the open E, and then the little D sharp right here. Really cool in the song. And then later in the song, he's gonna do the same principle of having the friction, but instead of being the open E and the 4th fret, it's gonna be the open B, and then the 3rd fret on the 3rd string. And we're gonna do it from other chords, so we're gonna do it from a G sharp minor. So it's the same shape right here. And then you slide it down to play a G add 9. And then what I call the Alex Lifeson chord. So it's like an F sharp major chord. But instead of barring it, you let the open strings ring. And then once again, you slide that 1 fret below. So it's like basic chords, but super spicy because he always think about like, how can I use the most chromaticism and most chromatic notes possible, right? So. So super, super cool. And then, wow, the next song, the Watchmaker. Once again, we need a like high-strung tuning, like Nashville kind of tuning. And even more in that song, we're gonna need a capo, which I had on the ground also, on the 3rd fret. And this song is so, so hard to cover and to pick up by ear. I spent like an hour on that song for to make this lesson, and I couldn't like find out what it is because it's so confusing to have a capo and then a high-strung tuning where like all the notes, they just are not at the place they should be. And then in the song, it's like 2 or 3 guitar parts at the same time with the piano. So it's like the parts are separated. So I just did a new part so that you can play that song in one part in the same way that I did it in my Genesis top 10 video on the song Cinema Show, just so that you can play it in one part. But this part, it's like shivers down my spine each time that I hear that. So my version that I came up with is like this. You have this chord. So I'm gonna angle it here also. And then and this shape right here. So without talking. And then like the last little chord, it's gonna be something like this at the end. So it's super beautiful, it's so complex, it's so thick with the 12 string or the Nashville tuning guitar. I hope that you're gonna have fun doing that. It's not something that you can really like add into your own playing because it's so specific, but it's so beautiful at the same time. And then later in the song, you're gonna have something like this. So you're playing E minor, open, and then this shape of a C sharp minor 7 flat 5, right? So it's a beautiful way to play that chord in an open way, and then you're gonna play your D triad with the open strings too. Beautiful sound, and then so if you want to play it, it's like a G major triad. This triad right here, and then this is also a triad of a minor 7 flat 5. And then the crazy stretchy voicing that he likes. It's also really, really fun to play in that song. Really good song, chord choices right here. And the last song, The Raven That Refused to Sing. What a beautiful song. I mean, this is one of my favorite songs of all time because of the emotions that I feel when I listen to it. It's mostly on piano, but I'm gonna show it to you like what the chords are on guitar. So we're gonna play a G sharp minor, and then a G sharp major, sorry, and then an A minor, and then an F major in that voicing right here, so that the top note is this one. And then a C minor. Then we repeat the same chords. And then we play a C major. So what is really cool in that chord progression is that all the chords share a common tone between them, and that's the C note. The note at the middle right here, so the G sharp major, the C note is the major third of the chord. And then the A chord, A minor, that's the minor third of the chord. Then it's the fifth of the F chord. And then it's the root of the C chord. But since it's a bit boring to be the root of the C chord, he's gonna change the chord whether it's minor or major. So that way, it's always gonna sound colorful to sing the C note. Dun, dun, dun. Like a sing for me, pray for me. Always in it, so I love this chord progression. This is what we call a picardy third. When you play the root chord in minor, which is supposed to be C minor, and it is the first time, and the second time, we play it major, and it's like, once again, we inject some hope into the chord progression right here, right? And it's the same principle, like he's gonna borrow the A minor chord, doesn't fit in the key of C minor, but it fits in the key of C major. So it's always ambiguous whether we're playing in a minor or major key. He's just like playing with all chords of the parallel major or minor. So that was really fun to really analyze all the chords on this album. Once again, if you like how I teach and my enthusiasm for chords, you should check out my free online course on spread triad chords. It's the first link in the description box below. I'm going to show you many shapes of spread triads, major, minor, diminished, suspended, and example of chord progressions that are musical, where you could write songs with these chord progressions, and you can download the chord charts, the exercises. It's a really, really nice gift that I give you for watching my video until the end. So it's the first link in the description box below. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, au revoir.